Let's now take a look at our second category, factive versus non-factive. This might also be the most important category for us. If we say a reporting verb is factive, it implies that what is written or said is true. All right, so take a look at an example here. Here's the factive reporting verb, Kanazawa knows. And here's the statement. Men between 40 and 60 years old often experience a midlife crisis. Well, is this statement a fact or an opinion? Well, according to the implication of knows, it is a fact. All right, that's how we are presenting this. With non-factive, the reporting verb does not imply that what is written or said is true. It may be true or it may not. All right, so take a look here in an example of a non-factive reporting verb. Male midlife crises occur in response to female menopause. Well, that may be true or it may not be true. That's how we are presenting it. All right. More on the nature of truth in a moment. Here are some tests you can use to distinguish factive and non-factive. You take a silly little conversation like this. My teacher blank that 2 plus 2 equals 3. Well, your teacher may blank that, but he's wrong. You complete this with a reporting verb. If the resulting sentences make sense, the reporting verb is non-factive. If the sentences don't make sense, the reporting verb is factive. So take an example. Well, my teacher thinks that 2 plus 2 equals 3. Well, your teacher may think that, but he's wrong. That makes sense. Listen to it one more time. My teacher knows that 2 plus 2 equals 3. Well, your teacher may know that, but he's wrong. That sounds weird, right? Because if he's wrong, he doesn't know. If you try this test, you'll see that the most common reporting verbs that students use, like say, state, argue, claim, and believe, they're all non-factive, right? We said that, but he was wrong. They stated that in the newspaper, but they later had to retract that story. They were wrong. Well, that's what he believes, but he's wrong. So how can we identify some factive reporting verbs if all our favorites are non-factive? Well, first, it's good to know that anything related to vision is almost always factive. We have this whole, I see can mean that, I understand and everything. So words like notice, observe, demonstrate, show, indicate, point out, these are all factive, right? You try them in the test. Well, my teacher observed that 2 plus 2 equals 3, but he's wrong. Well, then he didn't really observe that now, did he? Right? Also, this includes any reporting verb that has the root no or gno, which means, to know, like the thing you see in knowledge. So that includes, know or acknowledge, but also includes notice, note, or recognize, right? My teacher recognized that 2 plus 2 equals 3, that he's wrong. Well, that's strange, right? As you may have figured out from the previous examples, there's some good purposes for how we can use factive and non-factive. And we'll see some more examples of this later in this instructional module. Here's the thing. Truth is elusive in this world. And, what one person views as fact may be another person's opinions, right? Like, most of us are pretty firmly in the court of believing that the earth is round, but you've got people out there who just see that as an opinion, all right? They in their mind, the earth is flat. Where's the truth really lie? Well, that's a matter of presentation, okay? So it's not so much like, what the science really says is how we want things to sound. Do you want stuff to sound like a fact, or do you want it to just sound like an opinion? And take a look at the difference between these two, right? The study showed that beauty standards are universal. Wow. Here we're dressing this thing up like a fact. That sounds like a fact. That's the implication of a word like show. The study suggested that beauty standards are universal. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they're not. That's the implication of a word like suggested. That's just kind of like, the opinion that came out of the study authors. It's up to debate. All right. And so this is critical. We can think about how we want the ideas in our essays to sound.